Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today on Live Music Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jake Gill. Today with Greg Olson from For the People Powwow. Greg, thanks for joining us.
Sure, no problem. Glad to
Greg,
do it.
give us a little background on you. Where did you grow up and talk a little bit about your career all the way to where you're at now?
I grew up in Northwest Iowa. I'm a farm kid. I live in Missouri now. I've always been interested in history, and so I became a historian. And my interest in history led me to indigenous people. I mean, no matter where you live in America, you live on land that belonged or belongs to indigenous people. So
Mhm.
it, I got interested in writing that sort of history, and in doing those projects, I got to know a lot of indigenous people, and that's how I came to be working with a lot of Native people on this powwow project. One thing leads to another, and next thing you know, you're helping organize a powwow.
Yeah,
So
so tell us about the powwow. What does it look like if someone were to come there and visit and experience that? What would they see and feel?
yeah, so the first thing that I need to let everybody know is you don't have to be indigenous to come to a powwow. It's for everybody. It's a social event. It's a place where singers, drummers, dancers, people who sell, vendors, and the public all come together. There's food, there's music, dancing, and it's all around a circle. If you were to come to a powwow, the first thing you notice is that in the middle of whatever room or arena, there's a circle, and in the middle of that circle is a drum, and around that drum maybe, six or eight guys singing, and then there are people dancing, men, women, children, in their indigenous regalia, dancing around the circle. And there's all kinds of different dances. People are free to watch. And it's kind of a social event. It's a good time, just a chance for people to get together.
Very good. How long has this been going on for you?
So we've been doing it. It started in 2008, and for a while it was in Columbia, Missouri, and now for the last probably since 2014, we've been doing it in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Okay. Very, very, very good. Very good. What for you, Greg, what's the reward for you in organizing this and doing this?
Yeah, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of the rewards is actually people, because we're an all volunteer organization. Okay, so nobody gets paid to do this. So we come together, and part of the reward is just working with other people, volunteers, to make this thing happen. But then, and then when you're just about you think you can't do anymore, then the event comes, and just seeing people enjoy themselves, come together, have a good time, eat some fried bread, things like that.
Yes.
People of all ages, whether they're kids or elders, that's when I really feel good about it. Is just watching everybody have a good time.
Very good. How about you? Do you have some origins with the population?
Um, well, I am not native myself, but so we've been doing this long enough now, and I think probably anybody who does a festival can tell you that probably the hardest part is just to get to know who you need to know to make
Yeah.
it happen, right? And so over the years, I mean, there's probably maybe six or eight powwows in Missouri. Ours is just one that happens every year. And
Sure.
so, I've gone to all these other powwows, gotten to know people. I know who the dancers are, who the drums are. That's really the big part, is just kind of getting to know the community, who can do what, who's willing to work with you, who's not really interested in working with you. And that also is pretty rewarding. And so I think, for any festival organizer, you just got to put in your time, spend time with people, get to know not only what you're doing on your end, but get to know who you need to work with.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. All right. Couple fun questions. Just because I'm a live music guy, I'm an entertainer.
Uh-huh.
I always ask these fun questions. Greg, as you're growing up, as you're getting older, who or what was the best concert you've seen your entire life?
Okay, so I'm going to date myself, but
Nothing wrong
I
with
got to
that.
I got to see some really good shows. I got to see Iggy Pop. I got to see The Clash.
Mm,
Probably the one of the best shows I ever saw were Talking Heads, and this was the what is it, the nine, the big version of Talking
yeah.
Heads. So it's probably like in about 1980. in Des Moines, Iowa, of all places. But that
Wow.
was a really good show. I mean, that was, if you've ever seen the movie Stop Making Sense, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
kind of that same lineup, and yeah, it
Gotcha.
was fun, a lot
Gotcha.
of
That's
fun.
cool. That's cool. Okay. So if you could bring one concert to Missouri, dead or alive, money no issue, who would you bring?
Well, I'm going to go with an indigenous theme on this one, and I don't know
Okay.
if you've there used to be these three DJs and a video artists in Canada called themselves a Tribe Called Red, and
Uh-huh.
now they've changed their name to, I think they call themselves a Hallucination, and they just always seem, they call their performances the Electric Powwow, and it's just like a full immersion experience, and
Nice.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. They're still out there touring, so who knows? Maybe
Oh,
one day.
very cool. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that'd be spectacular. Absolutely. Very much.
Yeah.
Greg, how do people find out more about the For the People powwow?
So probably the easiest thing, we're on Facebook. So just go
Okay.
onto Facebook, type in For the People Powwow, and you'll find out more about us. There's information, dates, everything you need to know. And there's a link there. You can get a hold of me if you need to.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for
Great.
being on with us today, Greg.
I appreciate your time.
Hey,
Thanks.
you too. Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle